Hey guys, so hopefully you guys are having a good time. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about relationships. Okay, relationships are important to all of us. Would you agree with me when I say that? Relationship can be with our parents, relationship can be with our partner or any kind of loved one like your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, boss, work colleagues, right? It could be with absolutely anybody. Okay, now sometimes as much as these relationships are important, not every relationship goes in the direction we want it to go. Fair statement? Not every relationship went in the direction that we want it to go. Okay? Now, I'm going to pause that thought there a little bit and I'm going to talk about a little bit about ourselves. Okay? So, from the time that we are born, I believe that we kind of create a model about this world. In this little model that we have, we tend to say, these are the right things or this is right and these are some of the things that are not right. There are certain things that we value, there are certain things that motivates us. So based on all of this, we have a certain model about this world. Okay, and I believe the model comes from the things that we have learned from our life experiences, from our past, could be from our parents, teachers, people that we associated, like friends for that matter, or for that matter mass media, right? So from all these sources, we have created a model about the world that we live in. Now, I'm going to stop that thought too for a minute and I'm going to tell you something like this. Imagine I am somebody who believes that all your qualifications you need to get as soon as possible, and by the age of 35 you should finish off all the qualifications that you need to have, like for an example your degree, masters, PhD for that matter, right? All your qualifications are done and dusted by the age of 35. Okay, you have a friend of yours who comes and tells you, and that friend by the way is 70 years old. He or she comes and tells you, you know something, I want to do something brand spanking new with my life, so I'm going to start off my PhD. Now, stop and think for a minute. If you're the kind of person whom you thought that you're going to finish off all your qualifications by the age of 35, when somebody comes and says at the age of 70, I want to finish or I want to start off my PhD at the age of 70, honestly tell me, what are you going to think? You might be a person like me who really loves kids. I love kids, okay? Somebody who's married comes to you and tells you that, you know what? I would rather have pets. I don't want to have kids, okay? Or I'm a person who believes in the concept of marriage, okay? And let's assume that you're a person who believes in the concept too. And somebody comes and tells you, you know what? I never want to get married, okay? Now, all these three situations, tell me honestly what you thought. Okay, you don't have to tell me, but ask yourself the question. Sometimes you tend to judge that person, isn't it? Okay, so judgment can be at the age of 70. Why on earth are you thinking about studying for a PhD? 70? What? You want to live your life without kids? You don't want to get married? So, where are these thoughts coming from? Thoughts are coming from our little model of the world that I was talking about earlier. Now, can I ask you a question? Could it be that there can be so many other models that are in existence that are also equally good or great that we may not necessarily value? My point is very simple. As much as we have set of values, principles, as well as things that motivates us, there could be certain other things that motivate other people and they are as equally great as what we value. So, my point to you is this. If you could become a little less rigid, because I use that word purposely because sometimes when we create that model about the world, we tend to become stuck in that model and we tend to become rigid in that model. Okay? Every time when you have a situation where you have a conflict with a person, if you can try and understand that person's model of the world, what does that person value? what does that person, or what motivates that person, or for that matter, where is this point of view coming from? And if you can understand it from that person's point of view, chances are that you may start excelling in your relationships a lot better. I know of these two doctors. Two doctors, highly qualified. So one doctor is of the view, they are married by the way, one doctor is of the view that they should spend their life in a particular country. It's very comfortable, right? Recognition and so on and so forth is very good. But the other doctor happens to feel that if they migrate, they can have a much better life materialistically. Now, can I ask you a question? Who is right? Honestly, make that judgment. You can't really say one person is right and the other person is wrong. It really depends on what that person values. So, ask yourself the question in every relationship or every difficult relationship that you're having right now. Chances are, at least I would like to believe, chances are that there might be a little conflict about two of your models. Okay, your model versus your boss's model, your model versus your partner's model of this world. If you can understand what that person values, what that person gets motivated by, and where is this model coming from, chances are that you may be in a much better position to enjoy all your important relationship much better than what it is today. This is something that I have learned from myself. Think about it, guys. Who are our best friends? Who are our friends? Most of the time, we are friends with people who are like us. Why is that? Because we like people who has a similar model of the world, because we can connect to them. As much as you can connect to them, if you can try and understand other people's model of the world, then your base will become much, much bigger. You might become a much more likable person and people would love to hang around you. Okay? Think about it a little bit. As much as there are things that motivates you, that you value, and what you think is right and wrong, and your model of the world, there are others out there who might have a similar, or rather not similar, a different but still very good model of the world, but what they value, what they get motivated, as well as what keeps them going is something different. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are bad. If you can understand this, like I said, your relationships can be far, far, far better. On an ending note, I believe it was great Stephen R. Covey who said this: seek first to understand, then to be understood. So think about it. Like I always say in my videos, just a thought for you to think. Bye.